This is going to seem very personal and perhaps a little mushy, but I'm proud of the Lord for good things that he does. I'm going to read you a scripture about that in a minute. I'm proud of my son. I'm proud of my new daughter-in-law. I'm proud of my grandchildren, all five of them, but especially the three that I get to spend a lot of time with. The other two are grown. I just am so excited being with these guys. I just came back from Hawaii, being with the family, and I'm just bubbling over with enthusiasm and excitement. A little background is that my son went through a pretty rough last 8 years of his marriage, and then his wife divorced him, and difficult. He's pastor of a very large church and doing very well on that front, but kind of hollowed out inside. And then he spent a year living alone, and in the middle of that year, he met this wonderful, wonderful girl. And about a year and a few months after the divorce, they got married. And it's just amazing how God puts people in families where they belong. And the scripture in Psalm 68 says that God places the solitary in families and gives the desolate a home in which to dwell. And I watched my son move from a period of relative desolation, pastoring a big church, but feeling isolated and alone, to an incredible family. They're just enjoying the blessing of the Lord in every way. Here's some of the cool background. Kristin, my new daughter-in-law, grew up in Hope Chapel, Hermosa after we had left for Hawaii. She ends up in Hawaii with crew and lands in a Hope Chapel, falls in love with Hawaii, falls in love with a man, and gets married, goes through a kind of a rough marriage and a rough divorce, and finds her way to 3 different Hope Chapels as she's kind of moving around the island following her former husband, and then lands in Anchor Church, which had been Hope Chapel, Kaneohe Bay, which my son was pastoring at the time, not knowing that it's a Hope Chapel, not knowing that she grew up in the same town as he did, not knowing that he was into diving as she is, he's into surfing as she is, he was into ocean art as she is. She actually has a business doing that. God just pulled these 2 people together in some amazing ways. And I'm not even telling you half of the coincidences, the stories of God's blessing and grace in their lives. The second part of that scripture says that he leads the prisoners out to prosperity. Well, when you're going through the pain of divorce, any kind of major pain in your life, you're a prisoner. But then the prosperity thing comes, and as they've come together, God has just prospered them. They own their home. They live. You cross the road, you cross the golf course, and you're at the beach. And it's a beach where both of them, independent of each other before they knew each other, were collecting shells and sea glass and the kind of stuff that is making this business of theirs very, very prosperous. God is blessing them in some amazing ways. And then Carl brought our youngest granddaughter into the marriage. The other 2 are grown. Kristin brings 2 into the marriage, instant bonding with grandparents. This is just an incredible thing. God has just prospered these people in an amazing way. And it just makes me so proud to be a part of their lives and what they're doing and where God's taking them. They're running the business right now, kind of a free agent in God's kingdom in terms of where would ministry take us? We don't know all that. All I know is this. I'm so thankful to God for keeping his word in this wonderful way in our family. And it's just been such a super blessing getting to be with all these guys. And I just wanted to share that with you. I hope it's not too personal. I know it's not all about church planting. I know it's not all about making disciples, but my son was my number 1 disciple. And my new daughter-in-law got to Hawaii because she was a disciple maker. And I'm proud of the both of them.